Welcome to another self-care practice. In this practice, we'll be looking primarily at Neti Pot, but also tongue scraping and having a morning hot water. So first thing in the mornings, I began to practice this little set quite a long time ago when I was 19, when I first discovered Ayurveda. I found the book Perfect Health by Deepak Chopra on my sister's bed. She doesn't even know where it came from. I found the book at a time when I was completely burnt out as an architecture student, and I started to practice these amazing small rituals, and they had an incredible impact on my whole life. It totally changed the way I saw the whole world and really kind of sent me on the yogic path in many ways. So in the morning, the first thing I do is boil a kettle, and then I head to the bathroom and I tongue scrape. So these tongue scrapers I bought online. This is a copper one, but you can get stainless steel ones. The copper ones are a little hardcore. I think actually I might have bought these in India. They're super cheap. Every Indian pharmacy has them for about 20 cents. I think I bought a bunch of them. But you can also get them online. And basically, you're in the bathroom and you take the tongue scraper and you get it all the way to the back of the tongue first thing in the morning, and you scrape the tongue. So don't scrape so hard that you cut your tongue. I've done it. I mean, it's not so bad if they're teeny, it would be a teeny cut, but you're really scraping. I do it maybe 3 or 4 times. I wash it and you see all of the gunk, all of the toxins from the night before are coming off. So the tongue starts to release toxins throughout the night. And if you have your mouth closed as well, you'll find that there are a lot. So do this 20 times. I really get into it in the morning. You can also do it in the shower as well. And then I come back and I have my kettle boiled, and I'll always make myself a hot water. That's the first thing that I've had every day, every single day since I was 19. Some people put lemon in it and swear by lemon, but I'm just somebody who goes for hot water. The next thing is the Neti Pot. So Neti Pot is part of the Shatkarmas, which are the 6 cleansing rituals. And this practice clears the sinuses. And with the clearing of the sinuses, there's a sense that it is also from an energetic and spiritual viewpoint, cleansing and clearing the space around the third eye as well. So it has two benefits, physical and also energetic. Now, you can buy a Neti Pot online. You can get plastic ones as well. So I have plastic ones which I use when I travel. Whenever I would get on a plane or a train or anything for a long distance, afterwards I would use the Neti Pot just to clear everything out of the nasal cavity. So this is a good one to do right now, this cleansing and clearing of this space. So what I do is I get my salt. Now this is the next aspect of it. In terms of salt, some people get a bit hardcore with the salt and say that you have to have, the purest of Himalayan salts. I mean, if all you have is table salt in your cupboard, it's fine. I have done that. But I think that there are a lot of impurities. And so for the most part, you want to keep it as clean as possible. But don't go out and feel like you have to spend $30 on some perfect salt. Whatever you have in your home is fine. I get my salt pretty cheaply from the source. And I think this is a Himalayan one that I use that's a bit pink. And then I measure out about a half a teaspoon of salt. And I put it in the Neti Pot. And then the way I create my Neti Pot is I use boiling water and I fill it to about a third. Around about. Like every day it's a little different. Sometimes I put too much in. It's fine if you put too much in, you'll know. The key is you want this to be warm. They say as warm as salty tears, which is very poetic, but I actually think it needs to be a touch warmer than that. If you don't get it the right temperature, it just feels really uncomfortable, and this whole practice should actually be quite enjoyable. When I was living in India, my teacher Vandana kept saying to us, I'll teach you Neti Pot. Every day she would come in to this class and say, this week it's going to happen. I'm going to teach you Neti Pot. And I remember being so petrified of the thought of having the water running through my nose. I don't know why I was so scared about it, but I was really scared. And then when I was finally shown properly how to do this practice, it became one that was very soothing, and it's very cleansing and clearing. So I tend to just mix up the salt so that in the hot water, it dissolves a bit. And then I fill up the rest with cold water. And then I feel it. Okay, and this feels about right. Now, the hard thing is you can't feel this. It should be like, I think with babies' bottles, you do this thing where you kind of feel it, and it should feel like skin temperature. And it shouldn't be too hot, and it shouldn't be cold either. So it's kind of like a nice, warm temperature. If you have got it too hot, then just tip some out and put some cold water in, and the same goes with the hot. Okay, now I am going to attempt to demonstrate Neti Pot in a way that is as elegant as possible, which is close to impossible. It is generally one of the most unattractive things you can do, especially online. So you're placing the Neti Pot in one of the nostrils, and you're allowing the water to flow through the nasal cavity out the other side to the other nostril. Now, it means that you need to just tip your head in one direction so that you can find that flow, and you're needing to breathe out of your mouth. Once you think you've done about halfway, oh, so attractive, grab a tissue and blow gently. That's if you have tissues left in your house. Don't blow too hard. I found that if I blow too hard at this point, it all goes up and in my ears. So it's a very gentle blow. In India, they wouldn't use tissues. They're just into the sink or outside. You can do this outside as well. When we're on retreat, we do it outside. So I teach everybody these techniques when we're on retreat as well. So then you're moving to the opposite side. Now, I'm sitting here in a living room so that I can film this, but you would obviously be in your bathroom doing it over a sink. So you're wanting to tip the head to the side and also forward. And then when you finish it all, you again blow your nose. And you might find that the first few times you do this regularly, that throughout the day or like in the first hour or so after you've done this practice of clearing the nasal cavities, that you'll need to blow your nose a little and some more salt water will come out, and that's okay. I was just thinking then, I've used this silver bowl that we use in the kitchen. I'm going to give it a good solid wash, and it's great because my flatmate doesn't follow me on Instagram. She doesn't know what I'm doing. But this practice, on a serious note, is so good for clearing and cleansing sinuses, especially if I have any kind of cold, flu symptoms. And I think that right now during the pandemic, it is something to do relatively regularly. So after you've been out and about, if you've had to be out in the world, you could come home and do this, make it nice and warm and cleanse this whole area. And you can make up some extra and even gargle and use it as a salt gargle. And remember to have your hot water every morning. It's so good for digestion. If you have any questions about this practice, feel free to write them in the comments below or send us a direct message. I hope you're all staying healthy and well in this period and having a beautiful day wherever you are. Thanks for joining.